Welcome to Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, into wellness, into fitness. Introduce you to some key celebrities throughout the area. Speaking of celebrities, the spotlight continues to shine on Bangor Girls Basketball. Now, you know why, because a few months ago, this team won a state championship, but now it's a new season. So with us today, Coach Merlin Jones, Courtney Oesterle, and Karsen Kershner. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Terry.
As we tape the show here on December 28th, let's start with something really important. Christmas reflections. Now, starting with you, Coach. I know you had your family back for Christmas. Special time for you, I'm sure, with your family.
Special time, yeah, to have everybody back together. Obviously, having a kid going to college is kind of a new feeling this year, but and then thinking about having another one gone next year. So it's kind of a new thing, new group of kids to work with in the basketball program this year. Graduating 7 of our 9 girls that were part of our team from last season. So it's kind of like a new group of kids this year, and then to find the connection with those kids and everything is all new.
Well, I know the feeling of kids going on to school because we have 5 children and all 5 of them left at some point. And finally, when the last one left, we were empty nested. That was really difficult. So just to clear you in, that might not be an easy time for you and your wife. But family's a big part of who you are. And I know with your wife, you've been married over 20 years, and your success, which we'll talk about. But the Bangor family, the biggest part is the support you get from your family.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my family in a lot of ways. Even having my daughter come back this year from Christmas break, she spent countless hours even now going back and helping me catch up on her stats that I was behind on, and getting us up to date where we are right now today, getting our videotapes on to Huddle and things like that for our team so they can watch all that. Here again today, we're going to be hosting our holiday tournament, and she's willing to come in and help us out with that. So a lot of things she's been able to, keep involved with our program even though she's not part of the program. And there's a lot of time and commitment, not just for myself, but also for my family and what they've been willing to give up and allow me to do this.
Well, and Merlin was on the show, Coach Jones was on the show last year, and after they won the state championship, and your daughter was on the show.
Yep. And
so that was pretty special. But Courtney, as we tape the show here, just a couple days after what is the most significant kind of Christmas present that you ever got, Courtney? Can you think of that? Special Christmas memories.
No, there wasn't like a specific gift that I got that was significant. I would just say getting to spend time with my friends and family. It's just a special time. And
Karsen, too, with your big family, can you go back down memory lane and think about a special Christmas for you?
Well, every year we have like traditions, and one of our main ones is we decorate cookies every year. So I always look forward to that, and we exchange gifts and just hang out, and it's always fun.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, well, family's a big part of who you are, and and of course, something I learned as I looked at your profile.
Yeah.
And that's your huge family. I think that might be something our viewers were interested in. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I have 10 siblings, and everywhere I go I always have little kids like running around, but they're always supportive and they're there for me, and my mom comes to all my games, and I don't know, I just know that I'll always have people there for me. So
how special is that when you look in the stands and you see all those brothers and sisters there rooting for you?
It is special, and I know that they enjoy watching me, and that, I don't know,
Does it make you nervous, make you feel a level of comfort?
It's comfort more than nervous, yeah.
Good, and you have an older sister that's quite an athlete.
Yeah, she does cross country at Green Bay, and she's also a really good student too, so she's just a good role model for me, I guess.
And Courtney, you have a family too that is certainly your biggest support network.
Yes, for sure.
Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so my grandparents, Al and Dorothy, and my aunt and uncle, Sheila and Doug, and then my mom and dad are always at every single one of my games, if they're not at my younger brother's game.
So they're can you hear them in the stands and praising
yes,
you?
Yes, I always.
So I know you're a basketball and volleyball player.
Yep.
And I assume volleyball has been a huge success story for Bangor also, and you're part of that.
Yeah, we actually rebuilt the season. You know, we went from like being the bottom of the conference my freshman year to being conference champion or co-conference champions my sophomore and junior year.
Karsen, you're a three-sport athlete.
Yeah.
And is that difficult to balance all that because you have a couple of part-time jobs and obviously you're involved with taking care of your family, and I mean you have a full load.
Yeah, I'm always busy, and I don't mind it. I like being busy. I don't want to just sit around and not participate in things. So I really involve myself in things, and I still have time for my family, and I do have 2 jobs, but I do make time for my sports, and I'm glad that I'm in all 3 of them.
Good. Well, we talked a little bit about family, but update our viewers on your children. What's your coach?
My children. Well, I've got like I said, my daughter's in college at Marion University, and completed her first semester, made the dean's list. So I'm very proud of that. My second child, my son Trevor, he's a senior, a classmate with Courtney, and playing basketball, and he's been very supportive, and I can't say enough about my family that way. I mean, I've had to miss some of their games, and they continue to support, and I appreciate what they've given me. But so he's in his basketball season right now. Was part of the football team that made it to 1 game away from going to state again this year. So very proud of what he's been able to accomplish in football. Then my youngest one, I've got my 3rd child, which is Tanner. He's a current 8th grader, and here again, chasing him around the countryside, watching Great Northwest basketball. Missed a lot of the school basketball in the early season going on, but we've already been able to make 1 or 2 of his events as far as for Great Northwest, and continue to watch that on the weekends when the Great Northwest season kicks in.
The last time you were on the show, we talked a little bit about your athletic experiences too. You were quite an athlete yourself at Bangor.
I was okay compared to what we have today in Bangor.
So let's go back a little bit, and the opportunities that you and I had compared to the opportunities and maybe the skill set of athletes today. What's the biggest change you've seen?
The skill set's a whole lot different. If I look back, kids are way more advanced and have a lot more skill level today than what we used to have. I think there's a lot more commitment from the kids, and I have to praise every one of them for being able to make the higher level varsity play now, being able to go on to the next level. I just look at the commitment these kids have to make, as well as not just the academic end, but the playing end of it, to be able to excel and have a great role models, and like I said, and then to excel at the high school level and have good programs out there. There's just a ton of commitment, I feel, from the kids, and just a lot of scrutiny that goes on from, not just your general public, but outsiders. They're looking at how can we knock these kids down and things that way. And it's not always praise, it's not always glory for them. So there's a lot of stress on them, I feel, and I have to look at the kids we have in our program and the kids we have in our community and praise every one of them for how they get through it.
Well, let's just go with that thought a minute. You said there's a lot of pressure on kids. They're in the spotlight. There's no question. There's a lot of articles written about being a high school athlete and being on a pedestal, being on a platform, having to live up to the expectation. Is that difficult in a small town, Courtney?
I think more kids in a small town are obligated to play sports and be involved in more, just coming from a small school. And I wouldn't say that I feel like I'm on a pedestal. I feel equal to everyone in the school, and being in sports just helps motivate me to do well in school too and keep my grades up.
Well, but athletes basically, Karsen, are on a platform. I mean, there's no getting away from it. People look up to athletes, younger kids in Bangor, elementary school kids look to high school kids like I did when I was young, and people looked up to me. So there is a level of expectation, and not everyone is up to that challenge. And how do you react to that?
Yeah, well, I do realize that if you're in sports, you have to take a lot more caution to your life, and you focus on school a lot more. Just being in sports does motivate me to be a better student and just a good person overall. And I always look to be the best I can be and focus on my sports, and yeah.
Now, you're both leaders. I mean, there's no question. That's why you're on the show, too. Because your coach indicated to me that you are 2 key leaders. But not everybody is up to those expectations. You see players on your team or in the community that maybe are not living up to that? And you as a leader, what do you do?
I guess all you can really do is just motivate them and show them how they can maybe improve in a positive way, though you don't want to be like rude about it. But yeah, I think that if someone isn't reaching their highest ability, you can maybe just give them a few pointers here and there and encourage them and talk to them and just make them feel a part of your team. And
teams at all level have drama, Courtney. You're a senior.
Yes.
And there's no question about it. And so you see drama developing. Now, you're a coach on the floor, you're a senior, you're a leader. How do you handle that?
You just have to help, players realize their role on the floor. Not everyone has to be in the spotlight. We're a team. We need to play as a team to win as a team. It's not just one or two players that help us win.
And so you are a leader, and you take that responsibility seriously, don't you?
Yes.
All right, well, it's been great. We're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break, but we come back more with Bangor Girls Basketball right after this.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again, the spotlight today, Bangor Girls Basketball. Head coach Merlin Jones, along with Courtney Oesterle and Karsen Kershner. Well, Coach, talk a little bit about your career. This is something our viewers may be surprised. 9 years as head coach, 148 wins, 61 losses, 5 conference championships. And in the last 4.5 seasons, you're 103-17, 4 losses to D5 schools. 2 of those won a state championship, and you're the Division V state champions from last year. Now, new year, we know that, but a target on your back, my friend.
Talk about pressure, Terry. Thanks. Appreciate that. It's been fun. It's been fun, and at the same time, it's fun to come in with a new group. And you look at the past, and the past has been great. Look at the future, and the future looks great. I can say it's been enjoyable to achieve what we've been able to achieve and become this pinnacle program, I think, for the D5 level. At the same point in time, it's now the desire to try to stay there.
But not everybody can do that. Sometimes there's a silver lining to that, but sometimes it's a challenge because there's a lot of pressure maybe you put on yourself, but maybe community members, parents. I mean, is that something that you feel?
Absolutely, yeah. At the same time, I hope it's a pressure that all the kids feel, that we can do it together in the way that we all remain positive out of it and understand what the overall goal and purpose is, that it's not driven in a negative way, but rather in a positive way that everybody wants that same ultimate goal to achieve the highest standard out there possible for each individual. And in the end, I think if we all understand what the overall goal is, we'll strive for it and we'll all become better people.
Well, as we tape the show again here on December 27th, you are 4-4.
Yep.
And tonight you play Milwaukee, Washington,
yes,
in the Bangor Holiday Tournament. So let's look at this year then. You're 500, and what do you look for in the conference race? What do you look for as we go into the season and end it in the month of February and March?
I try to take the record right now and throw it out the door. We're 4-4. we've had a pretty strong schedule as far as for the first 8 games, losing to 2 quality teams in our area, in Melrose Mindoro, who I think is one of the highly regarded Division IV teams in our area. Obviously, the second game of the year we played against a GET Division III team. Played them in a really good game. You look at the score, didn't really reflect, but for the most part, we played right with them for a long portion of the game. Suffered an injury to the girl sitting right next to me, and she's been out for the majority of the season, coming back hopefully today. And but for the most part, you know, we structure our schedule to be to face some adversity out there, and to really, it's not what we can do in day 1, but what we do in game 23 and game 24. Obviously tonight we're playing Milwaukee, Washington, a D2 school from Milwaukee, and they have 2 very, very good players in their team that are averaging up in the upper 20s and have scored in the 30s a few times. So here again, you know, we've had 8 games and had, I believe, 6 different starting lineups this year. So we've been struggling with some adversity and injuries. You know, just some things have been going on not on the floor, but more so just staying healthy. And you know, when you have all these different lineups out there, you know, you're going to struggle, but we're also going to go through some growing pains out there. And in the end, it's a matter of, I think we've really in the last couple games started coming together as a group and as a unit. And we just got to get everybody back to healthy, which I think we're looking for by January 15th, having everybody back full strength and make a run for the end. I
would guess that you will make a run, knowing you and knowing your lineup. Well, Courtney, you played for a lot of coaches when you were younger.
Yes.
What do you look for in a coach? Who would you like your daughter or son to play for? What kind of a coach do you think really motivates you?
A coach that has a positive attitude and wants the best for their players. You know, they're there for you on and off the court. You know, they can be someone you can talk to, and basically like a second parent. And they just want what's best for players.
Karsen, do you like coaches that push you? Describe the coach you like to play for.
I really do. I would say that I like coaches that push me because everyone needs that in their life. And like Courtney said, like, I want to have a coach that is more than just a coach. Like, they're also there for you outside of your game, and just someone that's there for you and they look for the best for you and your team, and yeah, continue to push you through.
And you've had a lot of coaches too, but I think both of you described a coach by the name of Merlin Jones, didn't you? Because that's exactly what he's all about. I know that as a friend, how he coaches. National Honor Society and leadership, so academics first, athletics second.
Yeah, I would say that school comes first before sports, and I would say that sports is more of a, like, it does come second, and school comes first because that's like for your future and what you want to be when you're older and all that. But sports is definitely one of the biggest enjoyments in my life. So
but your parents expect the grades to be there because you have the academic gift?
Yeah, and my sister was a very good student too, so she set the bar high, and I pushed towards that. And I want to stay up there and impress my parents and impress myself, I guess.
What's special about Bangor High School?
We have our teachers are since we have like not very many students, like I have like 5 people in some of my classes, so it's nice because the teacher's like there to teach you, and you have a lot of one-on-one, and I just think that's good for a student.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So you're only a junior, but fast forward to college and then maybe a career.
As of right now, I want to go into nursing, and I've been thinking about Mankato. I don't know. I just like the school, and my cousin goes there, and I just think that it'd be a good place for me, and yeah.
Well, a few months from now, Courtney Oesterle will be graduating.
Yes, I will be.
And your new chapter will begin, but you have the talent to play collegiately, and I'm hoping that will occur.
Yes, I haven't made a decision yet. It's either I can go to Edgewood and continue my basketball and academic career, or I can choose the University of Wisconsin-Madison and just choose my academic career.
And what would that be?
I want to major in biochemistry and then go to a graduate program for a physician's assistant.
Wow, great career, and that is booming, a physician's assistant. Coach talked about your injury. Kind of update our viewers on that.
So I was injured in our game against GET. I fractured and dislocated my pinky. And so I did that 2 days before Thanksgiving, and the day after Thanksgiving I had surgery and I had 2 pins put in my finger. And so after 4 weeks they finally pulled those out, and I just have it taped right now, and I'm trying to regain flexibility and mobility in it.
As you talk about that, Coach Merlin Jones has a smile on his face because he is pretty happy that you're back and ready to go here in the next couple of hours, huh?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be back on the floor with my team.
Well, good. Philosophy of life. I know you're a senior now, and you're full of substance and depth. What would be the philosophy of life for you, Courtney?
I would say just like live your life as it comes to you. You know, don't force too much, and you can't stress over the little things because those won't matter in the long run.
There's somebody called with the name Morgan Harper Nichols that I know, and she has a saying, and you kind of adhere to that.
Yes, I really like the saying that I put. You know, that like, you know, be the one who notices the little things, and you know, be the one that always cares more and does more.
And you do that too.
Yes, I do.
You display that. Well, give me your thoughts on our 2 guests as players at Bangor, Coach.
2 young ladies are going to be very successful in life, and they're great examples as to what our program's about and where our program's been, and I hope where we're going. They both exemplify high standards, obviously in the classroom, and I think they're great leaders out there in the classroom, on the floor, and I hope it's a matter of they use what's happening in basketball to not just the adversity you go through, as well as to prosper in life on the floor and as well as off the floor. I think they've done a very good job of that. You
seem to have an abundance of those players, though. When I work football games there and boys basketball and all the other sports, it just seems like you just described a typical Bangor Cardinal athlete. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think that here again you got the 2 young ladies sitting in front of you, and I think if they look at in their past, girls have been ahead of them. I hope it's been a trend that's started, and I hope that they not just carry it through, but continue it on to the next generation, and we can bring more and more girls in here, meet with you on a regular basis, and we see figures of what's sitting in front of us here today, years down the road.
Of course. What's something, Karsen, that our viewers may not know about you?
Well, I don't think most people knew that I had 10 siblings, so that is a lot.
And?
I have 1 kidney.
And 1 kidney?
Yeah.
Does that impact your athleticism at all?
When I first found out, I didn't find out until I was like 8, so it was a little bit later in life than you think that you would find out that kind of information, but they just warned me that high contact sports is kind of a risk, but I haven't had any problems, and I don't think I'm going to stop playing basketball just because of that.
I admire people like you. Broken crayons, still color.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
So a philosophy of life and maybe a saying that kind of exemplifies who you are.
In life so far, I've learned that there's like plenty of ups and downs, and I just think that you need to focus on the positive things, and you have to set goals and build and reach them. And when you're having a hard time, just push through and learn from your mistakes. And a quote that I find interesting is just like believe in yourself and you'll be unstoppable. And I find that to be true, because when you have confidence in yourself, which sometimes I do struggle with, but when you have confidence in yourself, you will succeed.
No doubts. Do you ever have doubts?
I do have doubts, yeah. But I try to be positive and work towards not having as many, but yeah.
Something tells me, Coach, as we close the show, you have no doubts at all the quality of these 2 Cardinal athletes and your team, do you?
I have no doubt.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. No doubts for you either, right, Courtney?
No, we can only go up from here.
Exactly. Well, it's been great to have you again. Second time Coach has been on the show after won the D5 state championship last year, and again, get to Bangor High School and watch these girls, because it's a treat the way they play, and the coaching style of Merlin Jones, and just how cohesive and appreciative and unselfish they are. So it's a pleasure to have you 2 on the show again, Coach Merlin Jones, Courtney Oesterle, and Karsen Kershner. Have a good season, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts and film clips from a recent game right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install Carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Well, Rick and I were at the Mark Sutton Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Central High School for a much-anticipated doubleheader. The Hilltoppers of Onalaska versus the Central Red Raiders. Let's start with the girls' game. Shane Schmaling's Hilltopper defense took center stage from the tip, pressing and double-teaming the Red Raider offense. The result, numerous turnovers and hurried shots as Onalaska raced to a 29-13 halftime lead. Coach Cortell Roberson made some adjustments at half, and Central was able to establish their offense in the second half. Senior Heather Opitz led the way with 12 points. Onalaska had 4 players that provided much of the bulk of scoring. Olivia Gamoki led all scorers with 13. Lexi Miller followed with 11. Kenzie Miller 9, and Carly Skemp 8 points off the bench. Final, Onalaska 55, Central 41. Well, fans continue to roll in as 1,400 spectators were on hand for Game 2. As expected, the Hilltoppers started strong with great inside play from junior Tyrell Stutley. The teams exchanged leads throughout much of the first half, with Central taking a 1-point lead, 34-33 into intermission. Early in the second half, Stutley picked up his 3rd and then his 4th foul, and 6'9" center Gavin McGrath injured his ankle as Central extended their lead. A 20-3 run with Johnny Davis scoring 11 straight points put the Red Raiders in complete control for the rest of the game. Central shot an incredible 100% from the free throw line, going 19 for 19. Johnny Davis had a game-high 29 points and 11 rebounds. Stutley led Onalaska with 26 points. With the win, Central takes the lead in the MVC with a 4-0 record, 10-1 on the year. Onalaska moves to 4-1 and 10-2 on the season. Final from Central, the Red Raiders 74 and the Hilltoppers 56. Well, that's it this week here on Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.